The 300-year-old Sycamore Gap tree, a main feature at the site of Hayden's Wall in Northumberland, has been felled between Wednesday Eve and Thursday morning in a deliberate act of vandalism. The tree was made famous in the 1991 film Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, starring Kevin Costner. Police at the scene stated the tree had been sliced skillfully with a sharp chainsaw by someone who knew what they were doing. Locals heard nothing during the night due to high winds from Storm Agnes. The Twice Brewed Inn nearby has offered a $2,000 bar tab reward in exchange for information that leads to an arrest. DCI Rebecca Finney Menzies of Northumberland Police said, "The senseless destruction of what is undoubtedly a world-renowned landmark and a local treasure has quite rightly resulted in an outpour of shock, horror, and anger throughout the Northeast and farther afield." A 16-year-old was arrested on suspicion of criminal damage Friday, but has since been released on bail, and a second arrest of a man in his 60s has been made. This investigation is still in its early stages. What can I say? It's a sycamore, so the stump will try to regrow, but it will never be the same. October is a time for giving. Now it's Christmas. We should be thankful for all you lovers out there. It's Valentine's. Look, we only have one night, Halloween. So while we're waiting on the new Exorcist, Saw, and Aliens movies, October is my month of fun. My gift to you horror fans is a list of some of my favorite situational horror films. This is different from all the other lists. My only favorites. That means I've watched each movie more than once. I'm not here to diss all the other films. I just want to put something together that's entirely different. Situational horror is more like something that could actually happen to you. Personal opinion is subjective, and feel free to leave your own in the comment section. Sometimes the best movie suggestions I've found were those in the comment sections of other videos. Also, most of these films are widely available, but if you have a problem finding a link, message me and I will send you one that is free. And no thrillers. There's a difference between a horror and a thriller. A thriller is usually more likely to be situational, but it's got to do with kill count, prolific violence, and do you know who is after you? So just to let you know what I've excluded before I begin. I'm not afraid of ghosts. No ghosts, Ghostbusters. And no ghost whisperers. The Conjurers, Annabelle. Leave Raggedy Ann out of it. No Chucky, even though they're super funny. No vampires. Nosferatu is so cute. Looks like Batboy. I just want to hug him. It's that motherly instinct. This is a no Buffy zone. No werewolves. American Werewolf in London. Oh. Michael J. Fox as a teen wolf was so endearing. Michael Jackson was scary without the makeup. Ginger snaps with puberty angst. There's just no doggies here. Well, no werewolves. And that kind of gets you away from monsters as well. We can't have my aliens, the alien queen, the predators. Also, no zombies. Even though, everyone loves a little Shaun of the Dead. 28 Days Later. And another whole subgenre, the It's a Lovely Day for an Exorcism. Okay. So my situational horror is going to be divided up into subsections. We have crime horror. This is where a crime is being committed and innocent or sometimes not so innocent people are killed. Then there's serial killer horror. You've got just a crazy mad person killing people. It's also a subcategory for true horror, based on a true story. This actually happened. So Freddy and Jason do not qualify because of the supernatural element for that. There's the playing a game horror. There's so many of these that involve serial killers, but I love to play games because you can kind of try to play along. Wheel of Fortune just doesn't do it for me. It's kidnapping horror. Sometimes the killer comes to your house. Or sometimes they just take you. There's the popular genre of revenge horror. This has a double layer to it. You see the first incident where an innocent person is harmed or left for dead, and then, unbeknownst to them, the perpetrators, they're coming after them, the bad guys. Oh yeah. Then there's drug horror. This is a whole thing about the drugs to start with. It may escalate. Everybody was trying to have a really good time, like too much of a good thing. Then there's evil children, those vile, nasty little short people. They deserve their own section. And kind of my personal favorite. I would call this bad circumstance horror. You've ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you've done something really stupid. For instance, you go into the woods, propose to your girlfriend, and something bad happens. There's no map, there's no food. You broke your leg. You're gonna die, but she will put that ring on her finger just before you do. There's also Don't Fool with Mother Nature, and you're not from around here, so don't mess with the locals or this family. So I am totally unfiltered because I broke the pop filter, setting up the mic I haven't used in over a year. It was a new pop filter too. Oh well. I think we're going to start with playing a game horror. And of course, it's not a movie, but I will mention that I loved the Squid Game series, and I'm looking forward to the next installment. Would you like to play a game? Yes, I do. There are no spoilers here, so the descriptions will be very, very brief. Everything is something I like, so it's not a complete list of every play a game horror. And the order is just done by initial release date only. So we'll begin with 2000 Battle Royale. This is a Japanese survivor game with 9th graders on an island with weapons to kill each other. Apparently it's also a favorite of Tarantino's. And next up is the Saw Trilogy, 2004, with the new one coming out right now. I just love the contraptions, the mechanical engineering puzzle machines. And there's always some kind of backstory, but it's really the machines and the puzzles that I really like about this one so much. 2011, we have Vile. This is kidnapped contestants. They have to hurt each other to produce some kind of adrenaline juice to survive. This was directed by Taylor Sheridan. I think it's his first film that he directed. 2012, Would You Rather? Desperate dinner guests play a sadistic party game. And 2012, Truth or Dare. careful, there is another movie with the same title, Truth or Dare, and I've seen it. It's not worth any more than a one-time watch. That's why it's not on this list, but this one is. 2012, Truth or Dare. This is the British film with the posh kids at a cabin in the woods, and they are forced to play a deadly game. 2012, Cheap Thrills. What a great year 2012 was. Cheap Thrills. What will you do for money to entertain others? And some of the stuff they do is really crazy. 2014, As the Gods Will. This is a Japanese high school kids playing death games, kind of like it's very similar to Squid Game, only it's just a movie and it's Japanese and not Korean. But they play kick the can and red light, green light, but it's kids. 2015 is Circle, not The Circle, but just Circle. It's a techno elimination game with moral dilemmas and ethical questions. 2018 is The Odds. This is a game of pain endurance for $1 million. I love this two people in a room, let's go thing about it. 2019 is Ready or Not. This is a comedy horror, so finally. You playing hide and seek from the in-laws on her wedding night. It's pretty scary concept. 2022 is The Blackening. So we've got another comedy horror. This is a slasher that starts with an old game of just board questions on Black history, and it's just really interesting and fun, but it is a slasher comedy. And that's our Play a Game list. If your favorite isn't on this list, be sure and leave it in the comments. For the next video, I will do Situational Horror with this subcategory of Kidnapping. There's a lot of great films with that element. If you like this video, comment. If you love, subscribe. And don't forget to take hostages. Bye now.